In this lecture, we're going to learn how to create a binary variable in R. So binary variables are variables that can take only two values, usually a 1 or a 0. And these variables are also known as dummy variables. So the plan for today's lecture is to learn how to create a smaller household dummy variable in the dataset that we are working with. So this dataset has a variable showing the household size. So the plan is that if the household size is less than 2 or equal to 2, that is if the household had 1 or 2 people, then this smaller house dummy variable is going to take a value of 1. On the contrary, if the household size is greater than 2, that is if the household had more than 2 people, in that case, this smaller household dummy variable is going to take a value of 0. Let's have a look at the codebook that the survey provides us. So I'm in this codebook and I press Ctrl and F and I'm going to type household size, and that means the name of the variable that has the household size is pph size. So I'm going to copy this name and paste it here, and that will take us to this variable and it will show the labels of this variable. So it looks like this pph size can take 5 values from 1 to 5. So the plan will be that if this variable takes a value of 1 or 2, then our dummy is going to take a value of 1 because we want to create a smaller house dummy variable. On the contrary, if this variable takes a value above 2, then our dummy is going to take a value of 0. Now let's go back to R and create the dummy variable. So first I want to create a comment called creating a smaller house dummy variable. And the first thing we do is we type the name of the data frame, which is low-ing2. So assuming that the dataset that we created last time, we are still working with this. So this low-ing2, and then put the $sign, and then you have to type the name of your new variable, the dummy variable that you are creating. So let's call this smaller underscore house. So that would be the name of my new variable, and then we'll use the assignment operator, and then comes the function which will help us create this variable, and the function is if else, then a bracket, the parenthesis. Next, what we want to do is put the condition for which this new variable is going to take a value of 1. So the condition is if this pph size is equal or less than 2, then my dummy variable is going to take a value of 1. This pph size is located inside this low-ing2 data frame or data set. So let's type in the name of the data frame first, which is low-ing2, and then put a $sign, and then put the name of the variable, which is pph size. If it's less than or equal to 2, then we want a value of 1 for this variable. And if this condition is not satisfied, that is if the value is greater than 2, then take a value of 0. So this is how this function works. And then I'm just going to select this line and hit run, and our dummy variable has been created. We can see that here this data frame or data set had 3 variables or 3 columns before. Now it has the 4th one, and let's see if it worked correctly or not. So for this household, the household size is greater than 2, so it took a value of 0. That means this is not a smaller household as we defined smaller household. And these two households, they have 2 or 1 members, and this code worked perfectly because this variable took a value of 1, as these are smaller households as we defined them. So this is how you can easily create a dummy variable or a binary variable in R. This is going to be a super useful skill for you because in your career as a data analyst, you'll be creating lots of dummy or binary variables.